What was the focus of practice today? What did you like from what you saw from the players?
Let's see. We had media day yesterday, so we kind of, had that day away from basketball. And so when we got back, we talked a lot about the drill work of training camp. We needed to leave that behind, and we needed to sort of get to more big picture sorts of things. And so we, evolved in that way as we play a game tomorrow. We wanted to make sure we had a really good handle on just simple things that we were trying to get done for tomorrow night. And as they have the entire time, their focus on whatever emphasis that we're presenting to them, they're doing a really good job.
So both Fee and BC were back at it today?
Yeah, they were.
Was Kayla able to do anything?
No, we held K-Mac out.
Yeah, she was saying that she had some bad bernays.
Yeah, something. So, yeah, she's pretty washed out, so we thought it'd be best.
You think she'll do anything tomorrow?
It's not likely, but that's not my decision.
Yeah.
So, but
other
probably.
than that, you're like you said the other day, you're looking at rotations, not roster decisions.
That's right.
As you enter this preseason.
Yeah. Ideally both. The in terms of a core group. We did a lot of that today, which was nice. A lot of core work today. And then, you got some, players that are competing for jobs, and we'll do our very best to try to get those opportunities to those players.
But winning is maybe more of a focus than it's been.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And we talked about that.
You've talked. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, you're good, Marty.
You've talked about being farther ahead at this time.
For sure.
Now, still feel that way.
Absolutely.
With the addition of.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if BC came a little bit later, Fee came a little bit later, K-Mac came in. Their reactions to what they're seeing in and of itself tells you kind of, how they felt about last year and where they feel like they are this year. Courtney Williams is a really good basketball player. She's a bucket. And so when you watch her play and you're Fee and you're K-Mac, you're going, oh, this is nice. This is nice to have. And so, along with others, and I don't mean just to say Courtney, and Courtney's a communicator. She's just obviously carved out that spot last year as an immediately a tier 1 point guard after for years being off ball, and it's fun to watch.
It's not so often. She was talking about how she learned basketball all over again. It was like a new world, but it's not often at this point in her career somebody makes such a drastic shift and kind of flourishes in it.
Yeah. And I think, Courtney's very, very curious, craves, if I say something, this is what I loved about Courtney. I saw this at USAB, say something to her and she's like, okay, there's no what? I'm not doing that, or I can't do that, or, she's a sponge, wants it, and so I think it keeps things fresh.
Well, that mid-range game that she has makes her perfect for the pick and roll, right? I mean, she and Nafisa are in some ways made for each other.
Yeah, pick and roll for her to score, and then obviously to make for an opportunity for easy baskets for others, because her decision making, her passing's really good.
What will fans notice that's different about this team from last year?
I think we're deeper. We've added a little more firepower, as we talked about Courtney. So if you think about our big three, I think that should be the most obvious thing. But I do think we're deeper. They'll notice we have, 15, 16 players. When they see us tomorrow, it's obviously not going to be the final roster, but we will have depth. We will have, every position, will be great balance and have multiple options.
Boy, any different than you did last year?
Yes and no. I think the finer parts of what we liked last year, we'd like to keep. But I think personnel-wise, there's a couple of things that we're doing that's a little bit different. But I think, I have leanings, I think, so we probably still have those leanings.
VNBC mentioned earlier, being really excited about getting to scrimmage against each other, and added that they were on the team that won, so they had probably maybe a bit more fun. But as a coach, is it nice to see them, get to go 5-on-5 after a few days of practicing against the guys?
Yeah, no. So Fee and BC said that they won. So there were 3 games. They were talking about the one game that they won. Is that what it was?
They said,
yeah.
I asked who won.
My
the
recollection.
great team or the blue team, and they said the great team.
Yeah, that was that was the only time that they played.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you look at the teams, that's what's supposed to happen.
Okay.
And so, but if you ask them about the other games when they played, they didn't fare as well.
Okay. I'll ask them about that.
Ask them about their transition defense.
Okay.
See how that went.
Yeah.
See, it seems like there's a lot more depth at the 3.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah, and we have Xander Lissini coming. We have good options there. Obviously, Fee can slide there. Kayla can. Land played some 3 today. Would play a bigger lineup with Land and Peely and Ruthie, and so that's not a problem position for us for sure.
I think it's nice to have Natisha here as opposed to playing against.
No, Heidemann, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Is there an update on who won between the two teams, Chechi and Dorka?
So Chechi is done. They lost their game. That was a bit of an upset. So they lost to Ragusa, so Chechi will be here next week.
Okay. So she'll be able to kind of get ready for maybe playing the last preseason game.
She will miss that game.
Okay.
Yeah, because she won't get here until we're away.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Sika Kone game, when we started practice, Girona was up 10 or 11. I don't know how much time was left, so I don't know how that worked out for us. But that's a series that we're obviously watching as well. You hate to root against your own players, but
But Dorka's now moving on then.
Dorka's moving on. Yeah. Dorka's that's and all you hope for now is a sweep in whatever direction.
Well,
Yeah.
Expectations, obviously, you feel like you're better than you were last year, but I mean, how excited are you about the possibilities?
Yeah, and I think more than anything, what we're excited about is, as we turn the page, so to speak, on a new era of Lynx basketball last season, I think many people didn't necessarily, see a vision forward or know the way forward. And so I think by season's end, we found that footing, that vision that everyone could feel, and we built on that. And so what we're hoping to do is, we had a lot of successes last season, especially after, starting the way we did. And so we want to make sure that we understand, what we did last year. That didn't necessarily come easy. That's not a guarantee. That's not necessarily a starting point. This team has to kind of find its way. We want to grow. We want to make sure that we ultimately are better than what we were last season in terms, and that means in the standings.
Right.
And so that's how we'll measure ourselves.